right, today we are in Matthew 9, verses 18 to 26. So Matthew is showing us story after story of Jesus's divine nature. Interesting, today is a story of a synagogue ruler who comes and bows before Jesus, confident that Jesus will raise his daughter from the dead. We have to wonder where he got the idea that Jesus could even raise people from the dead. It's a bold faith. And of course, Jesus agrees to do it, which is a bold claim. While walking there, a woman who had a bleeding condition that no doctor could help snuck up behind him and touched the edge of his cloak. The bleeding would have made her ritually unclean, and her touching Jesus would have made him ritually unclean. It doesn't seem to concern Jesus. Rituals never seem to mean much to him. She has faith that if only she can even touch him, she will be healed. This is not true, of course. You don't need to touch Jesus to be healed. And it's not like everyone who ever touched him became healed. That's not how it works. But the point is that the woman had faith in Jesus, and Jesus did heal her. That's the point. Jesus has the power to heal. Her healing was immediate and complete. No matter how, no matter what, Jesus has absolute power. Anyone else may have condemned the woman for defiling the person she touched, but not Jesus. Jesus calls her daughter.
যিশু তাকে তার আপন মেয়ে হিসেবে সম্বোধন করেছেন।
He gave her health and he gave her life back to her. But remember, Jesus is on the way to the house of a ruler whose daughter has died.
কিন্তু একটা বিষয় আমাদের তো মনে রাখতে হবে, কারণ এই যিশু হাঁটছেন, তিনি যাচ্ছেন, তিনি কিন্তু ওই অধ্যক্ষের বাড়ি যাচ্ছেন যেন সেই অধ্যক্ষের মেয়েকে সুস্থ করতে পারেন। এই সময়ের মাঝখানে এই ঘটনা ঘটেছিল।
Yes, Jesus gave the woman her life back to her, but now he's going to give life in a completely different way. The mourners had already gathered. Jesus told the mourners that the girl was not dead, but only asleep. They mocked him by laughing at him. He didn't mean she was only sleeping. He meant that her state of death was not permanent. It would prove to be nothing more than a temporary sleep. As Christians, we are taught that death is not a cessation, but instead a transition. Death is never final for us. And Jesus raised her from the dead, as he will raise all of us after death. This is one of the ways we know that Bashkar is enjoying the glory of Jesus. He's not just sitting in a coffin. He has been raised from the dead, and he is alive even today. We have two situations here of total helplessness and total hopelessness. But where Jesus is, there is always hope and there is always life. So what comments or questions do you have?
আমার একটা বিষয় খুব বিশেষ লেগেছে, মানে অর্থাৎ ভালো লেগেছে, যেটা
ঠিক আছে, what brother Taposh said that about that woman who touched Jesus, that teaching the lesson said what you said actually, that touching is not the matter, touching is not the thing. The thing is the belief in her. So the same thing we should have in our heart, in our mind, that we should have the same kind of belief in us. So our belief will heal us, not the touching, or touching is not the factor, but factor is our belief. So we should have that belief in us. That's interesting and new and likable to him.
আমার একটা বিষয়টা ভালো লাগছে যে এই পৃথিবীতে থাকতে ওই মহিলা।
So what Sister Kakuli said, that people, this mommy, go. She's too much. This lady she must have tried in her life to get healed
Yes.
From the bleeding, but she couldn't. And she knew that she had the belief, and she knew that this is the last opportunity or last chance for her, and that only Jesus can. But then the world cannot heal her anyway. So
Yes.
and that's the belief that she had, and she Sister Kakuli was thinking, and she liked this thinking.
Thank you.
আর কেউ কিছু বলতে চাই?
দাদা দাদা আর একটা বিষয়, সেটা হলো যে আমরা
বলছি আঙ্কেল, যিশুর প্রতি বিশ্বাস যারা রাখতে পারে না তাদের অসুস্থ সারে না।
What they are saying that one of the things Taposh brother he liked regarding when Jesus said that this girl is not dead, she is sleeping, so that Jesus knew the actual thing, what's going on, what will be happening, but the people didn't. So people laughed, mocked at him. Then the question comes, why today we do not see such kind of things that Jesus heals and even the death comes, but even our diseases, we sometimes pray and see but people do not get healed. Is there any good reason can be said?
Right. I would say that it's because Jesus wants the emphasis to be on our spiritual lives, not on what we can get out of him as far as healing and raising the dead. It was the same way in their era. So many people came to Jesus to be healed, but hardly anyone came to him and said, Jesus, forgive my sins, because people are just thinking about themselves and what benefit it can be for them. And so Jesus wants the focus to be on our souls, not on our bodies. Why don't you say that? And then I have a little more to say. In the Bible, there are only two main times when there are lots of miracles. That was during the Exodus with Moses and during Jesus' ministry. Aside from those two times, there are hardly any healings, even in the Bible, let alone in history. These are to teach us important things about Jesus. The idea is not that he has come to heal people. People will come to Jesus for the wrong reasons if they're only thinking about their physical well-being. If there was a lot of healing, people would line up to be healed. But just like in Jesus' day, they wouldn't line up to have their souls healed. And so instead, Jesus wants us to learn to deal with suffering and to deal with pain and to deal with death, knowing that what he is interested in is our souls and the life that he is giving us in our souls. All right. What reaction do they have?
বাবা শুনতেছিলাম, ভালো ছিল।
So Shopin said that it's the first day he's listening, and he liked one of the part. He said that this girl didn't die, but she is sleeping. So that was something that he liked much. But he is listening. He liked it. Like to be be a part of.
আসলে মন্তব্য বলতে কি যে এখানে
What Brother Taposh said, that it's like what you said about Bhaskar, Brother Bhaskar. He is not in the coffin, but he is with God. So Christian people can live even after death, and the spirit doesn't die. And living with Jesus is the task that Christian people, we can be confident. And when Jesus is with us and we are dying in Jesus Christ, so we'll be living with him, and that's our vision, that's our mission, to live with him. So for living with him, we have to live with him in the world also.
Yes. Kubalo.
খুব ভালো মন্তব্য। যদি যিশুর সাথে আমাদের থাকতে হয় সেই দিন